Hi, this is Cindy Adsit here with this week's 2-minute drill. Based on some phone calls that I've had the last couple weeks, and other staff have too, we felt it was important to run through a couple things to make sure you were aware of your options in dealing with situations that you might run into. If you need to request a waiver of a rule, and the most common ones are age for an assistant coach. By rule, they're required to be 19. If you've hired an additional coach because you had a whole lot more kids turn out than what you anticipated, there is a waiver that's in my WIAA that you can fill out. A waiver is for requesting of a change of any WI handbook rule. If your league wants to experiment with a playing rule, you can request an experiment of the WIAA executive board. That comes from the league, not from an individual school. A couple years ago, there were some leagues that wanted to utilize an extra hitter in both baseball and softball. They did that for a couple seasons, and as a condition of that experiment, they had to propose an amendment. That was approved, so now it's allowed by rule. Going on right now, there's another experiment that utilizes middle schools to use 6th graders in all sports except football. If your league wants to utilize that experiment, you simply need to notify us here at the office. Schools have the opportunity to appeal to the WI Executive Board on either their classification or a league decision. The classification information is already laid out on the WI website with timelines and process. If you want to appeal a decision that was made by the league based on the violation that you might have committed, the league should be utilizing the penalty review chart that's on page 54 in the WI handbook as a guide. But you would first appeal that to the district. If denied there, or if the decision is upheld, I should say, it goes then to the district director's appeals board. If they uphold it, then you have the opportunity to appeal to the board directly. The last one I want to cover, and this is something that now that we're moving into the postseason, I anticipate that this is going to come up more often than not. If your school is involved in a protest, you have within 24 hours of conclusion of the game to notify this office that you're planning to protest, and whoever oversees that sport has to determine that a rule was either misapplied or misinterpreted in order for the protest to go forward. If that is the case, then the league has the opportunity to determine what to do, whether it will leave that game as is, replay it, or play it from that point. Once we get into the postseason, that decision will be made by a games committee, and in both situations, that final decision is just that, it's final. No appeal beyond that. So I hope that clears it up. That's this week's 2-minute drill.